Hello dear students, now start this class, Insurance Handbook, a guide to insurance, what it does and how it is. To the reader, for over 50 years, the Insurance Information Institute has provided information to help consumer reports, insurance companies and research understand how insurance works and what it does. The Insurance Handbook is the latest addition to vast arsenal of resources, including book, brochures, newsletter, and videos, along a primary source of information, analysis, and referral on property casualty insurance issue. The Insurance Information Institute has broadened its reach over the years. Today, the Insurance Information Institute is also a leading source of clear, comprehensive information on amenities, retirement of other life health insurance concerns. The Insurance Handbook reflects this diversity of subject and issue. The book begins with basic information on the various types of insurance, including auto, home, life, and immunities and long-term costs. The grocery section contains over 50 entries, including over life, 100 life insurance difference provided by LOMA, a worldwide associate of life and financial service company. It directly lists a wide range of insurance organization, including national, state, and specialty association issues before provided overviews of the trend and development shaping the insurance industry, from natural and catastrophe to the terrorism to workplace safety. The handbook is designed to be used in conjunction with the institute other information resources. Our website, which provided and comprehensive information on all the aspects of insurance, and our various publications, including the Insurance Fact Book, the Financial Service Fact Book, a Farm Foundation, how insurance support the economy. Its scope and creativity make it is an ideal source for a wide variety of audience, including reports, publication, policymaker, regulator and student, insurance company, employee, and academic. We believe the handbook we prove the source of vital information to the media and other who have the long released on the fees and spoke persons and resource for and creatively timely information. We appreciate your comment. Insurance basic. Insurance basic. Overview. The insurance industry safeguards the assets of the policyholder by transformation risks from an individual or business. The insurance industry safeguards the assets of the policyholder by transformation risks from an individual or business to the insurance company. Insurance companies act as financial and intermediary in that they source invest of the premium they collect for the previous their service. Insurance company size to usually measured by need and premium written. Premium written, that is premium revenue less amount paid to reinsurance. There are three main insurance sector: property casualty, life, health, and health insurance. Property casualty PC and consists mainly of auto, home, and commercial insurance. Life health consists mainly of the life insurance and annuity. Annuity product insurance product health insurance are offered by and preferred health insurance companies and some LAs and PC insurance as well by the government program such as medical. Aviation regulation. All type of insurance are regulated by the state, with each state having to own set of decision and rules. State insurance department oversee and insurance market conduct and to a great or less degree review and rule one of the requests for of the increase for coverage. The National Association and of Insurance Commissioner develop model rules and regulation and for the industry many many of which must be approved by a state and legislature. The McCarran-Farrington Act passed by the Congress in 1945 referred to continued state regulation of the insurance industry as being in the public interest. Under the 1999 Graham-Bailey Financial Service and Moderation Act, insurance activities with their conducted by the bank, real broker dealers to insurers are related by the state. However, there have been and continue to be challenges to state regulation from some segments of the federal government as well as some financial service firm. ইন্স্যুরেন্স এরপর হচ্ছে অ্যাকাউন্টিং, ওভারভিউর মধ্যে আবার আছে অ্যাকাউন্টিং। Accounting insurers are required to use an statutory accounting principle when is filing annual financial report with a safe regulator and the internal revenue service, uh, who is invalid to the enhance the industrial financial stability in more and conservative than the generally accepted accounting principle established by the Independent Financial Accounting Standard Board. The Securities and Exchange Commission require and politically owned companies to report their finance results using GAAP rule. Insured outside the United States, US use standard that the difference of SAP and GAAP as global market developed by the need for more information. Accounting standard become clear in 2001. The International Accounting Standard Board IASB, an independent international accounting standard setting organization, become a work and is a set standard called International Financial Reporting Industry. Financial report industry, and since 2000 over by 100 countries has required or permitted the use of IFRS. In 2007, the SEC voted to the stop requiring non-US companies that use IFRS to reissue their financial report for US industry or using GAAP. In 2000, the National Association of an Insurance Communication began to explore way to move from statutory accounting principle to IFRS. Also in 2008, the FASB and IASB and undertook a joint project to the develop and commission and improvement framework for financial reporting and distribution and property and casualty and life insurance policy, where one sold almost exclusively be agents are the captive agent and representative one insurance company, or by independent agent and representative survival company, insurance company sales through captive agent, and or by mail, telephone, or via the internet are called direct writers. However, the indistinction between direct writer and independent agency companies has been blurring since the 1990s, when insurance began to use multiple channels to reach and potential customer to additional in and to 1980. Banks began to explore the possibility to selling insurance through independent agent, usually buying agency for their purpose. Other distribution channel including sales through professional organization and through workshop. Auto insurance basic. Auto insurance protected against financial loss in the event of an accident. It is a contract between the policyholder and the insurance company. The policyholder and agree to the pay premium, and the insurance company agree to pay loss as a difference in the policy. Auto insurance provides probability and liability and medical coverage. Probability coverage pays the damage to or threat of the car. Liability coverage space of the possibility legal responsibility to other the bodily injuries and the property damage. Medical coverage space of the cost and treating injuries, rehabilitation, and someone lost wages and is the funeral expense. More studies require driver to have auto liability insurance before they can legal by drive a car. Liability insurance pay are other driver medical, car repair, and other costs when the policyholder in a fall in an auto accident. All states have a law on the set and minimum amount of the insurance or the other financial security. Driver have to pay for the harm caused by their negligence behind the horse if an accident occurs. Most auto policy are for 6 months to a year. A basic auto insurance policy encompasses to six different kind of coverage each of which is priced and separately be below. তারপর আছে bodily insurance liability. The coverage applied to the insurance that the policyholder and family members by listed on the policy cost to someone easy to and different. Medical payment of the personal injury protection. This coverage pay for the treatment of injuries to the daily driver and passenger of the policyholder car. At its broadcasting, PIP can cover medical payment, loss, wages, and the cost of replacing service normally performed by the someone injured in an auto accident. It may also cover and funeral cost and property damage liability. The coverage space for damage policyholder or someone driving the car with their permission may cause to someone easy to property. Usually this means damage to someone easy car, but it is also includes damage to lamppost, telephone poles, fans, building, or the other structure heat and an accident. Collision. This coverage space for damage for the policyholder's car resulting and for a collision and with another car and object or as a result of leaping over it. Also cover damage caused by the pathologist. Collision coverage is generally sold with a deductible of $2,250 to $1,000. The higher the deductible, the lower the premium. Even is policyholder are at fault for an accident. Collision coverage will and reimburse them for the cost of repairing the car, minus the deductible if the policyholder it is not an fault. The insurance company may try to recover the amount is paid from the other and driver insurance company, a process known as is a subrogation. If the company is successful, policyholder will also be reimbursed for the deductible and comprehensive. The This coverage further reimburses for loss due to depth of damage caused by the something other than a collision with another car or object such as fire and falling object and mileage and completion, earthquake and windstorm hail, flood, terrorism. Vandalism and riots of contact with animals such as birds for deer. And a comprehensive insurance are usually sold with $100 to $300 deductible, though policyholder may offer a higher deductible as a way of lowering their premium. Comprehensive insurance may be also reimburse the policyholder if a windshield is capable of and shatterable. Some companies offer separate glass coverage with or without a deductible. State do not require the purchase of pollution or comprehensive coverage, but lender may insist borrowers carry in until a car loan is paid off. It may also be a requirement of some dealership if a car is leased. And uninsured or underinsured motorized coverage. Uninsured motorized coverage will reimburse the policyholder, a member of the family, for a designation driver if and also them the hit by a unauthorized or a hit and run and drive. Under insurance motorized covers come into play when is and fault driver has insufficient insurance to pay for the other driver's total loss. The coverage will also protect a policy holder who is the hit whole pedestrian. Homeowner insurance basic. Homeowner insurance provided insurance protection against disaster is an fact and policy, which means that it is covers both damage to property and liability or legal responsibility for any insurance and property damage. Policyholder all their family costs to other people. The included damage caused by the householder paid damage caused by most disaster in coverage by there are exceptions. Standard homeowner policy do not cover flooding, earthquake or poor maintenance, food and coverage. Flood coverage, however, is available for the form of a separate policy, both from the National Flood Insurance Program and from a few private insurers. Earthquake coverage is available either in the form of an endorsement of as a separately policy. Most maintenance-related problems are the homeowner responsibility. A standard homeowner insurance policy includes four essential types of coverage. They included coverage for the structure of the home, the part of a policy paid to repair or rebuild a home it is damaged or destroyed by fire, hurricane, hail, lightning, or an other disaster listed in the policy. It will not pay or damage caused by a flood, earthquake, or routine wear and tear. Most standard policy also cover structures that are not attached to a house, as a garage, tool shed, or gazebo. Generally, their steel structure are covered for about 10% of the total amount of insurance on the structure of the home. Coverage for personal belongings. Furniture, clothes, sports equipment, and other personal items are covered if they are stolen or destroyed by fire, hurricane or other insurance disaster, most companies provided coverage for 50 to 70% of the amount of insurance on the structure of a of home. This part of the policy includes of and promises coverage. This means the belongings are covered however in the world, unless the policyholder has decided against or promises coverage. Expensive items like jewelry and silverware are covered, but they are usually dollar limit if they are all stolen to ensure their item to their full value. Individual can purchase a special personal property endorsement or floaters are insurance the item for their appearance value. Trees, planet and scraps also they are covered under standard home mobile insurance. Generally up to about $500 per item. Pair is covered by the theft, fire, lighting and explosion and radiation right and in the event filling aircraft. They are not covered for damage by wind or disaster. Liability protection. Liability cover liability protection. Liability covers protection against the cost of lawsuit for bodily injury of an property damage the policyholder or family member caused to other people. It is also paid for the damage caused by the pet. The liability promotion portion of the policy pay for both the cost of and depending the policyholder is and court of the any court hours up to the limit of the policy coverage in not just in the home but extension to anywhere in the world. Liability limit generally started to at $1 lakh. However, expect recommended that homeowner purchase at least $3 lakh with of the protection and umbrella or excess liability policy, which provides broader coverage and including claim for libel and slander, as well as higher liability limit can be added to the policy. Generally, umbrella policies cost between $200 and $200 to $350, and for 1 million or additional liability protection. Homeowner policies is also provided no fault medical coverage in the event that someone is injured in a policyholder's home. The injured person can simply submit medical bills to the policyholder insurance company. In this way, expenses are paid without a liability claim being filed. The coverage, however, does not pay the medical bills for the policyholder's own family or pets. Additional living expense. The additional cost of living away from home if a house of the inhabitable due to damage from a fire, a storm or other insurance disaster. It's cover hotel bills, restaurant meals and other extra living expenses incurred with will the home to being rebuilt. Coverage from additional living expense differs from company to company. Many policies provided coverage for about 20% of the insurance on a house. The coverage can be increased for an additional premium. Some companies sell a policy that provides an unlimited amount of loss of use cover but for a limited amount of time. Additional living expense coverage also reimburses homeowners who rent out part of their home of the rent and that would be collected from a tenant of the home had not been destroyed. Type of homeowner insurance policy. There are survival type of homeowner insurance policies that differ in the amount of insurance coverage they provided. They provide the different type are the fairly standard throughout of the country. However, individual state the companies may offer policies that are suitably different or go by their such as standard or deluxe. People who rent the home they live in have a specific renter policy. The various types of homeowners insurance policy are listed below. HO3. This is the most common policy protected by the home from all perils. Perils except they are specifically excluded. HO1 limited coverage policy. This bare bones policy provided coverage against of the 10-year disasters. It is no longer available in most states. H02 basic policy. A basic policy provides protection against all 60s disasters. There is a version of H02 and designed for mobile home HOH. Older home. Designed for the older home, the policy usually reimburses or for damage on an actual cash value basis, which means replacement cost this and depreciation full and replacement cost policy may be available for some older homes. H04 renter created specifically for people who rent the home they live in. This policy protection personally and profession are any pass for the apartment that the policyholder owns, such as newly and installed kitchen cabinet against and 60 disaster H06. Condo co-op. A policy for people who own a condo or co-op. It provides coverage for and belongings and the structure part of the building they own. It protected against in 60 disasters. What type of disasters are covered? Most homeowner policy cover the 16 disaster listed below. Some the bare bones policy only cover the first 10. Fire or lighting, windstorm or hail, and explosion, riot or civil commotion, damage caused by aircraft, damage caused by vehicle, smoke, and vandalism or malicious massive theft. Volcanic and eruption and falling object, weight or ice, snow or sleet. Accident, disaster or overflow of water or steam from without a plumbing, heating, air conditioning or automatic fire protective sprinkler system or from a household appliance. Sudden and accidentally tears apart and cracking, burning, or bulging of a stream of hot water heating system and air conditioners or automatic fire protective system. Sudden and accidentally damage for artificially, generally, and electrically and current. Electrically current, and that with the incurred loss to a trap and transist of the similar electronic and component. Standard and homeowner policy and exclusion. Standard homeowner policy excluded coverage for the flood, earthquake, fire, nuclear accident, landslide, mudslide, sinkhole. Some of the exclusion are because before. One flood. Flood damage is an exclusive under the standard and homeowner and renters in insurance policies. Flood coverage, however, is available in the form of the separately policy, both from the National Flood Insurance Program and from a few and private insurance. Additional information of flood insurance can be found on the floodisman.gov website or and by calling 888 and 9531. For coverage over the above of $2,50,000 limit per property and $1 lakh for content provided by the NFIP. Excess flood insurance is available from private insurance companies. See topic on flood insurance on page 47 for the further insurance and tsunami cause flood damage are therefore only covered by a flood policy. Earthquake coverage can be a separate policy is an endorsement to as an to the homeowner for the rented policy. It is always from most insurance companies in California. It is also available from the California Earthquake Authority. It is a privately funded and publicly managed organization in earthquake prone state like California. The policy comes with is highly deductible. Damage caused from faulty, defective, or an inadequate maintenance, workmanship, construction, or material. Defective products can include and construction material, and insurance policy will not cover damage due to lack maintenance, mode and terminated and infestation from the other page. It is the policyholder responsibility to take reasonable and precaution to the protect for the home damage. Level of coverage. There are three coverage options. Actual cost value. This type of coverage pays to replace the home or is a position and minus and deduction to depreciation and replacement cost. This type of coverage pays the cost of rebuilding or repairing the home or replacing profession without a deduction or added depreciation. Granted extended replacement cost. An extended replacement cost policy pay a certain percentage, generally 20 to 25% over the coverage limit to coverage limit. Cover limit to rebuild from the home even and the material and labor cost of the first for the worst spare disaster. For example, the homeowner take out a policy $1 lakh, they can get up to an extra to 10 to 2,000, 20,000 or $25 at the coverage. Some companies offer a granted and replacement cost policy which pays whatever it costs to rebuild the home as it is was before the fire or other disaster even it is included the policy limit. This gives protection against sudden increases in construction costs due to short or building material after a widespread disaster or unexpected situation. If generally does not cover the cost of upgrading the house up complete with current building code. However, an endorsement or an addition to the other policy called an audience or law can be held pay the additional cost granted by an extended replacement cost policy are more expensive but can offer excellent financial protection. And as a disaster, the type of coverage, however, may not be available in all states from all companies. Business insurance basic. Most business need to purchase at least the following four type of insurance. And property insurance and compensates the business if is the property used in the business it lost damage as a result, and various type of commission varies such as fire or theft. And property insurance covers not just a building or structure but also the content including offer and furnishing inventory, raw material, machine, computer, and other item vital to the business operation. Depending on the type of policy, property insurance may including coverage of an equipment down removal or debris after a fire of the distribute even some time of water damage and other loss. Business in interruption insurance, also known as business income insurance, basis and interruption insurance as a type of property insurance. A business whose property has sustained a direct physically loss such as the fire damage or a damage and proof due to a tree falling on in the understorm and um, has to close down and completely with the and premise the being repair may loss out of the competitor. A quick and reception of business after a disaster of essential. There is a busy and business and interruption insurance is so important. There are typically three type of business and interruption insurance. A business can purchase any one of the combination of those business income coverage. Business in the coverage and compensations for the lost income in the company has to vacate in promises due to disaster related and damage that is the coverage under the property insurance policy. Business income insurance cover the profit the company would have the earned basic on the financial record had the disaster not occurred. The policy is also operating expenses as the electricity that continue even their business activities have come to a temporary halt. And extra income coverage and reimburses the company for a reasonable sum of money that is expend. Over and above normally operating expense to above having to shut down during the restoration period. Contingents and business and interruption and insurance and protecting a business owner's earning following physical loss or damage of the property of the insurance. There are supplier or customer as opposed to its own property. Damage due to flooding and earthquake are acts of the terrorism are generally generally not covered by the standard business property insurance must can purchase through various markets. Protection against flood damage. Property insurance policy usually excluded coverage for flood damage. Business should must be there is a local environment of office or commercial bank. Whatever their business in located in a flood zone and however, there is a localization to the flooded into the past. Flood insurance is available through that the federal government national flood insurance program www.floodsmart.gov, which is the service by the private carrier and the other is the few specialty and insurance. Protection against earthquake damage covers the earthquake damage is the including is most property insurance policy including business owner package policy. Business is an earthquake for are the ways and need especially an earthquake insurance policy or command and property earthquake endorsement. আমাদের Protested against terrorist attack laws under the Terrorism Risk Insurance Act of the 2002 and the its extension, and only business that purpose optional terrorism coverage are covered to losses arising from the terrorism act. The extension is worker and compensation which cover work-related insurance and deals including those due to act of terrorism. Liability insurance, any enterprise can be sued. Customer may claim that the business caused them their harm as the result of, for example, a defective product an error in a service of the register for another person property or a claimation made the allege that they are the business creator of the hazardous environment. Liability insurance pays damage for who is the business for the found liability of the policy limit as well the attorney fee and the other the legal defense expense. It is also paid the medical bills of the people insured by on one the promise of the business. The commercial general liability insurance policy is the first line of defense against many common claims and CGL policy over claim is the basic category of the business liability. Bodily insurance, property damage and performance and personal insurance include this ladder of liability. Advertising insurance damage for the cylinder of the false advertising in additional of the covering claim listed above. CGL policy also cover the cost of the depending on the shading claim. Generally the liability insurance policy it also state the maximum amount the insurance will be paid during the policy. There are two major from the liability insurance policy as the business can select and occursion and claim that both types of policy have their advantages and policy and occurrence policy and occurrence policy cover a business from the harm to other. The decision is becoming the policy in force no matter when is the claim fail to for example a person a person might do such as the India the is an no matter when they claim to fill. For example, a person might should be a business in 2010 injuries and stemming from a fall 1999, and the policy there was in Brazil, the incident equality and 99 will apply even if the company now has the policy if there are the higher limit of coverage may not be available in some states for the some industries of the profession. Claim-made policy. A claim-made policy covers the business based on the policy. There is the force for the claimant in made. And regardless of the when the incident occurs in the above example, the limit of the policy and effect in 2010 would apply and business with claiming made policy can purchase optional tail coverage. Tail coverage enable a business of report claims after the policy has ended for alleged insurance that occurred with the policy was effective. Commercial vehicle insurance. A commercial auto policy provided coverage to vehicles that are the used primarily in connection with the commercial and establishment of business activities. The insurance pays any cost of that parties and consultant from bodies, insurance or property damage for which the business is legally liable of the policy limit. They with the major coverage are the same and commercial auto policies differs for a personal auto policy is a number of technical respect. They may have higher limited and higher provision and that cover intended and other non-owned vehicles including employees, cars and driving. For company business and severally and insurance offer the business auto policy catered of the own of a small business or a specific type of business. What of confession insurance? Employee have a legal responsibility toward the employee to make the expenses safe. However, an dispute and application accident can and occur to protective an employee from the lawsuit consulting from the overship accident and the provided medical care and compensation of the lost income in point heart of the workplace accident is also every state and business are the recommended by a law to buy work and competitionally insurance. Work competition insurance cover work insurance in the job. However, there are heart of the workplace promises is also or the net auto accident where the business is also the working leader illness working compensation provided and payment of injured workers without regards to who was and was involved in an accident for the time to pass and in the medical and rehabilitation service. It also provided death benefit to a serving spouse of the depending is status of the differing law and governing the amount of the duration of the income and benefit the provision of medical and the rehabilitation service at the how to system right to admission. For example, in Madhya state, there are the regulations that cover however the worker and employer can be choose the doctor who is the treat the injuries and how this could about benefit of the result worker and compensation insurance must be through as a separately policy either the business and business owner policy are sold as a package policy or but it are including coverage for the worker insurance. Error and omission insurance of the professional liability. Some business involved a service such as giving advice, making recommendation and designation that the probability physically care of and representing some needs of other, which can lead to being sued by the customer, client, or patient, claiming that the business has failed to perform a job properly has injured them. Error and commission are professionally liabilities insurance covers their situation. The policy will pay any judgment for which the insurance in legal liability up to the policy limit. It also provided legal defense cost even when there has been no wrongdoing. Employment practice liability insurance covers up to the policy limit and damage of the employee and the legality liability such as the violation and employees civil or other legal rights. An additional and paying a judgment for which of the insurance liability it is also provided legal defense cost which can be substantially even when there have been no wrongdoing. Employment personal liability insurance. Employment and practice liability insurance covers up to the policy limit damage for the which an employment illegal liability such as violation and employee civil is or other legal rights in addition to paying and judgment for which the insurance in liability it is also provided legal defense cost which can be substance even when there has been no wrong thing directly and offered liability insurance. Directors and offerable liability insurance protected directly are officers of the corporation and the non-corporation organization if there is a lawsuit claiming they manage the business and organization without proper regards to the rights of others. The policy will be any judgment of the policy in their. The policy pays the judgment from the which of the insurance in legal liability up to other policy limits. It is also provided for the legal defense cost. And even however there has been no wrongdoing, umbrella or is the express policy as the name implies the an umbrella liability policy provides coverage over there above of the business other liability coverage it is damage to protect against and unusually high losses providing protection when the policy limit of the one of the underwritten policy has been used up for a tropically business and umbrella policy the which provided protection and beyond it is generally liability and other liability policies if as the companies has employment practice liability insurance directly and officers liability or other type of liability insurance. The umbrella could be provided protection and beyond the policy limit as well. Cost depends on the nature of the business, its size, the type of risks the business face, and the way of business implement risks and reduction. Key personnel life insurance. The loss of key personnel can be measured below to the small business. It is the person, it is the founder of the business, it is the key contact of the customer and suppliers and the management of the business. Loss of the key personnel may also make the running of the business less and insufficient and result of the loss of the capability. Losses caused by the death of the key employment are and the insurable. Such policies and compensatory that the business against sufficient losses that result from the person death or disability. And the amount and cost of the insurance needed for a particular business depends on the situation and their age, health, and the rules of the key employee. Key employee life insurance based of the death benefits of the companies when the key employee the policy of normally owned by the company which pays the premium and their beneficiary. The monies from key personnel insurance can be used to buy back share in the companies from the estate or the of the decreased pay or head hunting of the find of suitable insurance and coverage cost of expenses we will the business adjustable to the loss. Packaging policy. Commercial insurance sell coverage and separately and other policy with the combined protection from most major property and liability risks in one of the package. Package policy is created by the type of policy that generally face the some kind of the degree of risk. Package of the some business similarly companies often purchase and the package policy known as the business owner policy or BOC was recommended for the most business and unusually hundreds in place of less. That is one of the most affordable way to obtain about coverage. BOCs are often set policy and combining many of the basic coverage needed by the tropically small business into a standard package of the premium that generally less than will be required to purchase their coverage and separately combining both property and liability insurance. A BOP will be cover a business with the event of property damage, suspend operation, lawsuits, and consulting for the body insurance if the property damage to others. ETC BOC do not cover professional liability or to insurance workable and extension or health or and disability insurance. Some business will be need separately an insurance policy to cover professional service vehicles and employees. Thanks for watching the video.